Just a quick heads up, this video is not a financial advice. It's created purely for informational and educational purposes to empower you with knowledge and information. Before making any investment moves, it's smart to get proper financial guidance. And guess what? Gboshe don't just share content. He coach, guide, and support you on your journey to smarter investing. Let's delve to the weekly pre-market outlook.
Hello Forex traders, trust you're doing well. So here with you on set for your weekly analysis cash point outlook is Gboshe. So without wasting much time, let's look at the opportunities for the week. Right, so I was just on the chart and I was saying, wow, this week is presented a whole lot of opportunities. So without just not sharing it with you, my wonderful traders, it would be selfish. So let's all make this money together and let's all build well together. All right, so without wasting much time, so let's first of all look at the XY, the dollar index. Most of the dollar related pairs, all of them, they are paired with dollar, so it is good anytime we start looking at analysis from DXY. It helps us position to know the strength or the weakness of dollar. Right, so I did this recently. That was a setup I got from DXY for the week. Okay, I have removed that. All right, without wasting much time, so let's look at setup opportunities for the week. So first, we look at from the higher time frame. That is the top down analysis. So what could we see? We could see that market has been ranging for a whole lot of days now. See this zone. Market has been ranging here from the higher time frame. These levels, market has all been ranging here, but now you look at the internal and external support and resistance zone within this level, within the structure. So let's break it down to the lower time frame. So looking at this now, you could see this is my projection, right? Yeah, so why am I positioning here and why am I positioning to get it off from this point? It's because of the 1 day time frame. So if you look, market rejected slightly from this point, which I can call this a demand zone, and then it's reacting to this internal breakout resistance now, and then it is dropping. So for me, I don't think this breakout is going to break past this point, but then if we break past this point, then we'll be looking at, okay, overall maybe the DXY want to continue the overall trend of the bearish trend. Then since I got this breakout from this little zone, I'm thinking it will break here later on with strength, but it needs good momentum to do that. So because of this, looking at this, a reaction from this point, I'm expecting a reaction from this point for this buys. Look at it in the 4 hours. So now this is the projection, right? So a reaction from here, good, can be taken after this confirmation. So after test, a head and shoulder pattern will confirm this more effectively, and then we can take this setup. Heading first tip target here, and then overall this point, and this is the imbalance. So after this liquidity is filled up, there might be a slight rejection and the market can start doing all the stuff. Right, so but the easiest and the earliest setup that can be taken or that can be grabbed as soon as possible is this sell setup. So if you look at this, I can likely say that this level is been broken. See, market closed below this for the week, right? Also closed below this on the 4 hours time frame, on the daily time frame. So because of this, I'm seeing this as a breakout, so a slight rejection back to the side. So this might likely tap into this little demand supply zone here, or possibly still we can just react. But then as soon as we get an engulfing or a break or change of character in the lower time frame back to the downward trend, then we can position for sales opportunity using the setup framework and then positioning our TP from this point. So this is a 1:3 looks to be what this is the XY. So for this now, let's look at EURUSD without wasting much time. So EURUSD setup. So this EURUSD guy. So now I marked this trend. Because obviously it is telling a whole lot of story right here. So this, we can call this a level, and now we can call this a supply zone because of this breakout. But then I've been looking at this from the higher time frame, which looks as if market is trying to form a support zone at this point, because obviously this level has been a multi-tested level within the day. So if this reacts like this, and if this want to hold price to the upside, then first to get a good confirmed trade setup for this, then we will be expecting a breakout from here. So if market finally breaks out from this level, expect a retest, and then boom, we can buy to this point, and then ultimately to this point, and then we hold on. But then at this point, we should watch out for critical market reactions. So if we get a reaction like this, a market fails to continue and then maybe slightly comes back with a kind of pin bar rejecting levels, maybe like something like this or something like this, then we should possibly be positioning for a sell setup. And if this works and this is broken, then we could possibly take this trade down to this point before any further reaction could possibly take place. So this is EURUSD. So let's check GBPUSD. GBPUSD so far has been clear. It has been clear on, yeah. So looking at GBPUSD recently, I've been looking at this level and saying this could possibly act as a good support level. See this? This has been broken now. So now market has retested this level. Now I'm thinking I marked out this line, and if you notice now market has broken this trend and then ultimately this resistance. So if market pull through this resistance, then we could get a small or a little retest back to this level, and then we could be positioning for buy setup. So mind you, this is the first TP level and the second TP level, only been confirmed after this breakout. Possibly if it breaks out and keep flying, then maybe we can look at the EURUSD also. But then if it breaks out retest, then possibly in the lower time frame we could look for entry to the upside, right? But then also we should watch out at these levels for retracement or for possible pullbacks. So from here anything can happen. From here we could be surprised to see that market might start falling back to this level, but then this might likely hold as a support level. So the next trade setup is gold, XAUUSD. Gold has been confused these days, and I know a lot of us, we just what's our mind in gold is to just buy gold, gold likes buying. So now let's watch out these different levels. Looking at this from the higher time frame, you'll see that this was a hard slight pullback. Okay, rejected all these levels. But mind you, market will not just keep buying and keep buying and keep buying. At some points there could be drastic retracement and consolidation as well. So maybe this is one of these for gold, because for the past few days you can see all this consolidation. So it's not been moving in this rapid bullish movement or rapid bearish movement. But then at this point now, I'm marking out this level for a strong reaction at this level, and then I'm also marking out this level for a strong reaction. So this is a resistance level, this is a support level within this internal trend. So let's look how market will likely flow to any of these levels. Let's consider the 4 hour. So now from this 4 hour we could see that market pull down. There's a change of character here, and then there's a little continuation of the trend despite the rejection from these levels. So if we get a breakout like this from these levels, then possibly we could expect a retest to continue this trend down to this overall demand zone. But then if market gets here, then we could be looking at this targeting back this point. But then this is an inner trend here, so we just have to be careful with this. If market breaks out, then after a retest we could be expecting a buy to this point, but the market might likely react at this point. So this buys is for us to be very, very careful. If market breaks out here, then maybe on some good solid confirmation we could possibly take it to this point and then overall here. But this will be the best point to buy this market from, right? It falls in line with the overall weekly analysis of the overall higher time frame. All right, so the next setup will be US 100. So the US 100 during the week it has just been buying. So normally US 100 is fun of that. In a year, US 100 is just cut out or making good gains. That is what I mean, is on making good overall percentage, because people just use this as an investment vehicle to just invest their money, and so the market is always likely buying. It's always likely earning. So now looking at this is from the monthly time frame. This was April. Imagine this April. Now looking at this now, this is what? March. This is April, and now this is constituting a breakout from this level. Now this was April, and this was where the breakout happened. So it is possibly, maybe, or is likely going to see that this market will likely pull further upward before maybe any major retracement. So now it is still in the bullish ride, but let's look how we take advantage of this market, joining the bullish market. So I seeing this now, just positioning, if just in case this breakout level is not yet exhausted, if we still want to pull further upwards, then we could expect a reaction like this from this point, from this demand zone, and then this will be a good setup, taking it to the upside. I think this will be a fair enough TP. Yeah, so this is 27,750. Okay, 27,780. So this is a round number. So this could be a projected price for US 100 to get to, right? Yeah, on taking it at this point. So on this retracement, this would be a good one. Yeah, so this is for US 100. So with this few analysis setup, I guess GBPUSD, EURUSD, gold, US 100, we could get out some good trade opportunities from here to build our trading portfolio. Mind you, money is built little by little with time, so it is in the trading space. You don't want to rush trade, rather you want to have a systematic approach that you just deploy and just being consistent in it with resilience, and just watch the money falling gradually. So thank you very much. I'm Gboshe FX on set with you. See you in the next analysis.
Thanks for watching till the end. Your time means a lot. If you found value here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs this. And when you're ready to grow with guidance, Gboshe FX coaching is just one step away.